Yes, guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. Today, I wish that I could come here and spread some love, spread some good vibes, spread some good feet. But I can't. I cannot do it, I'm afraid, because we don't have a striker anymore, ladies and gentlemen, because Nicholas Jackson is expected to be out until at least the end of March after suffering a hamstring injury. And if you say the end of March, it doesn't sound that bad because, well, it's midway through February. It's awful, all right? There isn't even a Chelsea game in the end of March. So we won't have a striker available until April, ladies and gentlemen. A season that was... It's big for us, right? Isn't it? We got to get back into the Champions League. We can't go 3 years in a row without the Champions League. But it looks to me as though we might do that now. So don't mind me whilst I, sit here, and a lot of people are like, oh, Benson, God, you just whine a lot these days, don't you? Nah, I'm sorry, man. But I don't know when you started becoming a Chelsea fan, but I've been a Chelsea fan my whole life. I was born in 1994. I was blessed. Roman Abramovich came into our club, took it over, bought us, and revolutionised football, spent loads of money, and Chelsea won loads of trophies. And a few years ago now, there was a war that started between Russia towards Ukraine, an invasion. Russia wants to take over. But as a result of that, Roman Abramovich was sanctioned by the UK government, had Chelsea Football Club, his toy, his prized asset, the love of his life, taken away from him. And it was sold at a cutthroat price to a bunch of American-ran businessmen, companies, people that don't know football. So now, as a result of those actions, as a result of those decisions, and the timeline of events that unraveled after Roman Abramovich was forced to sell Chelsea, leaving us debt-free, by the way. It doesn't get much better than that when it comes to football owners, I'll have you know. So now, after all of this time, Chelsea, when Roman Abramovich left the club, we still didn't really have, like, a proper striker, you could say. Someone that is reliable enough, like a Drogba, like a Diego Costa. And it is true, Chelsea for the last 8 years, we've not really been challenging for the Premier League, to be quite honest. So that isn't something new with the new owners, but it's been over 3 years now since we won a trophy. We've not won a single trophy since these owners have come in, but we've spent a hell of a lot of money. We've been on the receiving end of criticism from pretty much every club in the world. Everyone is just like waiting for Chelsea to get butchered by PSR, and we've managed to steer away from that, haven't we? But we've had to sell all of our assets in the process to get by. We have had to scratch the backs of other clubs to buy players that we don't need just to get by. We have seen lots of players arrive at Chelsea, excited to be here, and realise very quickly that they're basically under a little dish in a sushi restaurant. The chef has cooked it up, put them out there. Shop window is open. Take what you want. The price is on the flipping piece of paper. Vega, pretty decent player, isn't he? Look how well he's doing for Juventus. Funny that. Brilliant stuff. Loaned immediately. Joao Felix, loaned immediately. And how we could do with Joao Felix now. And I know what people are going to say, Benson, but he wasn't scoring anyway. The bloke had 300 minutes of Premier League football this season. And now Chelsea are in a position where we don't actually have a fit number 9 available. If this isn't a disaster or a shambles or just proof that we don't know what we're doing, like, I'm sorry, but when are people going to wake up to this, okay? Yes, it's very unlucky that both Jackson and Mark Guiu both get, I can't even say this without laughing, really. They both get injured as the deadline day door is, like, closing. Like, the game was on during the final hours of the deadline. So if it was the day before, we might have been like going through the little data collection and being like, is there a 16-year-old? Well, don't worry, we signed Satpayev. Don't. No, I'm not. I can't back it in any way. I can't protect it in any way. I won't, and I refuse to. But Nicholas Jackson being out until the beginning of April, it's a big disaster. We saw Christopher Nkunku leading the line for Chelsea. The man has got, right now, a very bad attitude. I don't think he wants to be a Chelsea player. We know he doesn't want to be a Chelsea player because he wanted to leave in January and Chelsea priced him out of a move. Cole Palmer is also being touted to be the striker. Cole Palmer is not a striker either. So, yeah, Cole Palmer can score goals. Yes, Nkunku could score goals. But why has it taken? This is a big question I want to know the answer to here. And maybe there's something I'm missing. And if you're educated in this field, let me know. Nicholas Jackson didn't play against Brighton in the FA Cup at the weekend. Wasn't even in the squad. We played West Ham 6 days before that one. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that 11 or 10 days between injury and a scan so that we actually know the extent of the injury? Why? How does it take 10 days to conduct a scan to be able to inform our manager, Enzo Maresca, of what he's got to work with? Now, 2 days before a Friday night game, it's like, all right, well, by the way, I feel like it's over-dramatized. I know it's probably not, but it's like, guess what? You ain't got a striker, dude. Like, how has it taken this long to establish that Nicholas Jackson had a hamstring injury that would see him out for multiple months? How? We knew that Mark Guiu's injury was bad. Maresca came out and said that. But Maresca also came out and said that Jackson was probably going to be fit and available for this game on Friday. But if he's not been in training, why hasn't he been having that scan earlier? Make any of this make sense? Does it make sense to you? Please enlighten me in the comments down below if it does, because it doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever that Maresca has to wait this long to find out this information. And look, I've sat here countless times, like almost every day in the month of January and the early stages of Feb when the window was still open and then it closed. I said we needed to sign a striker. Difficult to foreshadow the unfortunate events that unfolded since then, but it would have been the same even before the January window was open. At the end of the summer window just gone, and the windows before that for about 6 years, right? We need to sign a proper striker. We need to sign an elite striker. So, I've got some more news for you, okay? Guess what, guys? Chelsea have been out in Portugal. Oh, could it be Sporting Lisbon? Yes, it is. Sporting bloody Lisbon. Hang on. What? Hang on a minute. Chelsea have been scouting Sporting striker. Yes! Conrad Harder. Could you try any harder to piss me off? We're not even going for the good one. We're not even going for the top one. I don't know if Alex Crook, and this is Pice's tweet, but like, I don't know if Alex Crook woke up and was like, Chelsea fans seem a little bit all over the shop on social media, don't they? The toys are coming out the pram. I'm going to stir the pot today. I don't know if this is true or not, but bloody hell, if Chelsea Football Club have been scouting Sporting Lisbon and it's not Victor Gyökeres, that is all that you need to know about the ambition of this club. That is all you need to know about what our future has in store for us if these people, Blueco, are still owning and running this football club. This is an absolute joke. It is an absolute disgrace that we are even seeing this kind of report. So if you come here expecting like optimistic Chelsea outlook of stuff, and I always give my thoughts and opinions, that's what GBFC is. It's how I feel about going into a game, after a game, transfer gossip, speculation, what's the team going to look like, what's the manager doing, all that stuff. But like, I just cannot take any of this seriously anymore. And that's why I was so upset in the last video. That's why I'm so upset now, because football is literally the best thing in the whole world. It's my favourite thing ever in my existence on this planet. So it's either I don't care anymore, because what is there to care about? Where are we going? What are we doing? Like, I feel like something's died. I genuinely feel like someone has died because of how I don't recognize the club that I love anymore. I just don't recognize it. And yeah, I'm sat here in front of a camera with a load of lights on me, flipping, getting upset about a report about Chelsea being interested in a striker. But it's clearly not that, is it? It's not the fact that it's not Victor Gyökeres. Even that would be PR at this point. What would he want to do coming to us? That's even bigger of a problem. Chelsea isn't a desirable location anymore. Look at Felix and what he's saying now in the media. We are absolutely running ourselves into the ground. These players like Joao Felix, he might not be the best in the world, but he's a very popular footballer. People listen to his opinion when he speaks. So if you look at the way that Felix was treated between August and January 2025, you ain't going anywhere near Chelsea because of how he was treated, because of how Chukwuemeka was treated. Couldn't get a sniff at Chelsea, by the way. Straight into the team in the Champions League for Borussia Dortmund. Well done to him. Really, honestly, I love Chukwuemeka. Credit to him. It's embarrassing the way that we've treated these guys. Ben Chilwell, European champion. Not even taken to flipping European away trips in the Conference League when we're scoring 8 goals a week. Disgusting. It's disgusting. And now we have just got to, go into the game against Brighton away with the same options that we saw last week where we couldn't hit a barn door. We didn't create anything and needed their goalkeeper to throw the ball in the net to even give us a sniff. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, man. I'm still looking forward to the game against Brighton because I look forward to every Chelsea game. I'm never not going to. But it is through gritted teeth at this point. It is just like, it's exhausting. It's actually exhausting seeing the way that we have just gone so far down because of the way that we're being ran from the top. You say all you want about Maresca's tactics and he's too stubborn and there's no plan B. How can he even go for a plan B now when we got rid of half of his players in the January window and didn't bring him anything? Matisse Amugu was the only signing. And even Maresca within 3 days came out and said, oh yeah, but he's not going to play for us. Why are you buying him then? Why did you buy him? I can't. Anyway, the final piece of news. EU downgrades sanctions rationale against Roman Abramovich, removing previous claims that he financially benefited from the Russian government. So the European Union doesn't think that Roman Abramovich was in the pocket of Vladimir Putin. But the UK government will never do anything like that or say anything like that, would they? Because then they'd have to probably give him his money back. It's crazy about the world of politics and money, and it's so funny how eventually the truth does rise to the surface. The facts eventually do overcome the political face or whatever it is that countries, governments, people have to put on. Honestly, I think all of the problems that we've discussed today are even bigger than football, some of them. They really are. Tomorrow I'm going to do a preview for the Brighton game that will go out in the morning. And of course, tomorrow is match day, so there will be also a stream. And there will also be 6 things we learned straight after the game. So please do subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything. And because of the time that we're going through at Chelsea right now, I really do enjoy reading your comments to understand your feelings about it. Even if you don't agree with me, I don't take it personally. I don't get hurt by people calling me delusional or an idiot or short-sighted or whatever it may be. I've got my thoughts and I share them because I believe in them. So, yeah, make your own judgments, but we've got to change this. Will they sell? No. So we've got to try and push for it. See you guys in the next video.